welcome back to the IWAR Network Tubecast. I'm your host, AlexG, and with me, as always, BRL Commissioner Matt Riley, CWL Commissioner, and IWAR Commissioner, Mr. Anderson. How are you gentlemen doing this evening?
Sweet.
Excellent.
At least you guys fucking responded this time.
I didn't wait this time.
I just want to let everyone know here that we're all extremely tired, so there might be a little bit more swearing on this Tubecast than normal. So please keep that in mind. You may not want to listen to it around your family or children or at work. If you're someone with sensitive ears,
unplug those headphones.
You may want to turn this off now.
I'm going to be swearing up and down.
Yeah. So, Mr. Anderson, we have IWAR Network Facebook questions.
Yes, we do. So let's run through these. First one, where's the beef? I'm not going to.
My pants, motherfucker.
I knew that's what Alex would say. Robbie asked the Johnny B Cup. Who remaining has the best chance at winning, and what are some of the biggest surprises to come out of its history? Shout out to Timothy. He's definitely got the best chance of winning. He's got about 3/4 of the field left. So good luck to him. He's probably going to win. If he doesn't win, that's going to be the biggest surprise.
Agreed.
I think the biggest surprise is that he's got 3/4 of the field left. No offense to any particular manager, but if that were to happen with anybody, that would be a surprise. Anything to add to that, guys?
Hell no.
Nope.
Hell no. Okay. Still planning on. Derek asked, still planning on expanding the IWAR, and then a follow-up. Who are the top prospects? Oh, okay. So 2 parts. We'll answer the first one first. Still planning on expanding the IWAR. Not to speak for my fellow commissioners, but I would say that is certainly a possibility. I don't think it has to be a definite. Like, it's not 100%. We'll find somebody to plug in there, but if there's somebody that we think is a good fit, definitely still a possibility. Does that sound?
I think it's more about overall fitting into what we're doing and what we're about versus, hey, we're going to take on another league that has a lot of matches and a lot of TT. It's not necessarily about that. It's about filling a void that we may have.
Right. That sounds good. And then second part, who are the top prospects in the NWL this year heading towards the next draft? Alex, I know you probably have a favorite. Who would you say?
My favorite of all time is probably Monster Truck Tanaka. He's awesome. Victor Amazimov, right? He's going to be really, really good. Scuba Steve, I think he's going to be fantastic coming out of the NWL. And, not for nothing, they're all really good right now. So it's hard to pick one. I think each and every person right now who's currently TTing in the NWL can make an impact anywhere in the IWAR or anywhere in the IWA for that matter. And
I'm not biased for any particular person, definitely those, but I think Seth Adams Lee
I agree.
may be a sleeper pick that's going to explode here as he exits his rookie year. Just throwing that out there.
I think we also don't know who's going to declare for the draft in general, but NWL is a pretty strong crop of guys, so check out the TT, folks. Yeah. You heard it first.
If I may add a disclaimer, since we've mentioned next year's draft, if you're going to enter the draft, please actually participate. By that, I mean be active and be in your league.
Outrageous.
It is what it is. I was super excited going into this year's draft, and I feel like it wasn't as stellar as it could have been based on the fact that about 1/3 of the field didn't end up doing the contest, basically. So just
that should happen to me last year. I lost people.
I don't mean just me. I mean the whole thing. Yeah, definitely the CWL got hit pretty hard. But overall, if you're gonna be a part of the draft, please be a part of the draft.
At the very least, make a commitment for the time frame that the draft is going on, please. At least the contest.
No doubt. So then Matt asked a couple questions. Who has the best questions? Who has the worst questions? Matt definitely asked the worst questions. Matt, do you want to do your 2 big announcements now for the BRL, or you want to do them later?
We'll do them later. It's fine.
Do them later. Okay. Big announcements coming up.
Jeezer.
Larry asked if we think the IWA now has dementia. I don't know if they have dementia. I don't know if they have dementia. If you want my smart alecky answer, I think that they're a bit sadistic. If you want my real answer, I think that the increase in active wrestlers is causing the IWA to kind of shuffle the holds a bit. you'll notice in this cycle's report, there's a lot of 501s, which is great. Good job. But if like 30 people have 501s, I think it's a given the IWA is going to shake it up. And the better players are doing, the more they're going to shake it up. So players are doing very well, they're going to shake it up. And that's what happens.
What players? I don't know these players.
So then Matt, do you want to talk about your comment there, or you want to move on?
What's that? The abusive
the drops.
Oh, I just think again, when it comes back to people coming back to the game, you want to make things relatively smooth at first. And I think after so much, shall we say, bad press with a number of errors or gaffes, I would just keep things simple and relaxed, and then shuffle the deck later. I'm pretty sure this is the third time in the last year they've shuffled the deck with a move up and down like this, which seems a lot to me.
Yeah. Well, I think this is actually the fourth, because they did it in January and then they did it in August, which caught us off guard. And then they did it again in January, which I think we were all sort of expecting.
We knew.
But now, instead of going like 8 cycles and shuffling, this was only 6 or 7. So it's like maybe they're going to start shuffling every third of the year.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's going to be rough. Rough for a lot of people. Not rough for me, of course. I'm going to come out unscathed. I'm going to get a 501. Timothy also laments how this cycle might be a bit rough for people. We'll see. And then Michael ends with, who is our favorite dinosaur? And would you like to be as awesome as said dinosaur? My favorite dinosaur is the Triceratops. I would like to be as awesome as that dinosaur. And if yes, please fill out the application found in the CWL bulletin to join the greatest program to enter the IWA in a long time, DinoFlex.
My favorite dinosaur is Truckosaurus. At the monster truck rallies, he eats other cars.
I think our real favorite dinosaur is IWA, let's be honest.
Oh!
That's a good way to end that segment.
All right, so that's it. All right, we're going to start off with the BRL Battle Royal League. Number 531, League Champion, Nasty Critter Brad Core. TV Champion, Money Driven Mike Sebastian. Atlantic Champion, R.A. Rude. Central Champion, Catfish Leroy. Dixie Champion, Dashing Don Dario. Eastern Champion, Mac Williams. Mountain Champion, Martel the Model. Northern Champion, Chief Bold Gray Fox. Pacific Champion, Hot Stuff Adam Cash. Prairie Champion, Vicious Vincent Payne. Southern Champion, Nasty Critter Brian Rotten. Western Champion, Apocalypse. Tag Team Champions, Party Time Eddie Goulardi and the Journeyman, Riker Green. TV Tag Team Champions, the Motor City Hellhound and Mac Williams. 6-man champions winning 5 free matches, the Broken Keelan Crowley, the Intellectual Cornelius Crowley, and Solomon the Strongman Crowley. TV 6-man champions, Sunburn, Carpet Burn, and Rug Burn. It's real fucking awesome. Nice job. So, Matt, what's going down in the BRL?
I should note that the Burn Trio won the U.S. 6-man championship, so good on them. Well, let's get right to the breaking news. So, the Bound for Glory, which has been a IWAR-wide event, will be coming to the BRL as a BRL-centric event, and it'll be made up of a number of wrestlers. It'll be 2 groups like it was last year with a G1 format. What we're doing that's different is I'm going to ask all the BRL players to elect 1 wrestler for the global division and 1 to be their unified division. And this makes it easier on me tracking strats for everybody. Is kind of a pain in the ass. So it'll help narrow it down. A lot of people have liked the BRL wrestler kind of snapshot page for the global division. So I'm going to kind of make it like a raw thing where like 1 page is one style, 1 page is another. Again, the global champion competes for a shot at the IWAR World Championship. The unified champion gets 5 free matches, so you'd have to decide which is more important. If you don't TT, you don't get a shot at either, so you got to be active with the trash talk too. We will run Bound for Glory later in the year. We're going to set it up in a way that each group is made up of one either global wrestlers or unified wrestlers, so it'll be kind of like the head-to-head will be the best coming out of each division. Speaking of coming out of things, this cycle coming up is the Money in the Bank pay-per-view, and we had qualifying ladder matches, and the winners were Patrick O'Malley defeated Sora Fukada, Vincent Payne defeated Agent 26, Don Dario defeated Late Night Logan Kane, Punk Rock Mike with a 1-point win over Ghostly Shadows for the revenge win, R.A. Rude hits 500 and denies LePage Turner. Shame. Chief Bull Gray Fox edges out Frank Leatherman Snow, Phantom Striker beats Hannibal, Vicious Vegan Vordemir Vaughn defeats Crusher Vicious in the Battle of the Vicious. Izzo the Terrible defeats Jake Scarlett, and Money Driven Mike Sebastian defeats Luther Alexander. So all the winners will be in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Queen of the Ring, I'm going to set up the brackets this coming cycle. We've had more entries. There's still space available, and people have been like, I'm going to come by, and they never got back to me. So if you didn't show up, tough shit. How's that? There it is. So I'm working 2 fucking jobs now, so my patience is worn thin. So there it is. Other activities going on? Well, there's a lot going on, of course. We have the Best of 7 series starting up soon, and I'm working on the pair to be paired up for that. The Best of 5 series for the women. Jane the Vixen Red will face the winner of a tournament, and it's on the actual BRL news page. So the winner of that tournament will face Jane the Vixen Red in the women's Best of 5 series. That's the big one. Other big news coming up, of course, twofold. One is that you may have seen the news about the International House of Pain stable, their plane going missing to write them off of BRL TV, so to speak. The person who runs them, his name's Brian Crawford, has sent me a message. I've been handling this trash talk for him. And I'll put that message into the next bulletin. I'll let you all read it. He wanted to bid farewell to everyone in the game because he's leaving the game for an indefinite amount of time. But he wanted to thank everyone. So please check that out. And yeah, that's kind of what's going on. You guys have anything you want to mention?
I'm pretty sure that Ghostly Shadow anally raped Luther Alexander this cycle. If you go back and read that TT, I don't know how I feel about that. That's kind of weird. But anyway, I want to talk about my good friend 2x4. He wants to let everyone know that, hey, all you punks out there, 2x4 is on the scene to kick ass, take names, and bring home the gold. I can hack any of you down to size, so watch out, I'm coming for you. So a message from our good friend 2x4.
Okay.
Mr. Anderson, you got anything for us?
Well, yes. We had the debut of Barb Dwyer. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah.
It's Dwyer. Okay.
Barb.
It's
a play on barbed wire, perhaps?
Yes.
Oh, Barb. Got it. Okay. Wow. Okay. You can tell I'm a little tired as well. So, very good introductory trash talk from her. What's going on with her? I encourage you to read that. She is vowing to take the Queen of the Ring tournament. I do want to say, for me, I think the line of the cycle goes to Logan Kane's trash talk, where he debuts. It's epic, of course, but he debuts and all these other late night hosts are having lines, and Jimmy Kimmel's slide is, when I'm with my wife and she calls out Logan Kane's name, I consider it an honor. And it just made me extra chuckle. So glad to see that Logan Kane is finally in the BRL. I think he's going to do big things.
I agree.
Yes, I will finish with, I enjoyed Lord Sheldon Bishop challenging LePage Turner to a rematch in a loser bows match. Of course, Logan Kane has lots of excuses of why he couldn't bow or wouldn't bow. So this match will be a special matchup at Money in the Bank. So, and welcome to Catfish Leroy, Catfish Rob's brother.
Oh, the picture with El Barbero. Who's the guy next to El Barbero?
Who's the guy next to El Barbero?
Who looks very homely.
He looks like a good friend of ours, the Teamster.
He looks like that guy that fought. He looks like the great Antonio. That's who he looks like. That's who I'm reminded of. He reminds me of the great Antonio. Sidebar.
Oh, that is...
If you've never seen the match between the great Antonio and Antonio Inoki, you need to stop listening to this right now and go watch that match.
It's fantastic.
I think it's supposed to be...
Please come back.
I think that's... Well, maybe not. What does that say? I guess he's a Teamster, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, looks like a Teamster. I mean, he has El Barbero shirt on, I think. He's a Meow headband and some sort of IWA badge of some sort. All right, next up is the CWL Continental Wrestling League number 233 league champion Sebastian Zabapowski, TV champion Vincent Torrio, United States champion Excellence Eric Stickler, Yukon champion Johnny the Wrench Morello, Caribbean champion Anthony Zabapowski, Amazon Basin champion Fortune 500 Aaron McFleece, British Isles champion Enthusiastic Chris Goldblum, Arabian champion Hard Hittin' Harry, South African champion Matthew Zabapowski, Siberian champion Piper the Goofball Monroe, East Asian champion Axel von Schnapp, Oceanic champion Barry Tickety Stevens, Tag Team champions Gideon Shining Star and David Humbleheart, TV Tag Team champions Johnny the Wrench Morello and Vincent Torrio, Six-Man champions Ethereal Guardian, Gideon Shadowstar, and David Humbleheart, TV Six-Man champions Victor Von Schnapp, Alex Von Schnapp, and Alex Von Schnapp. So, Mr. Anderson, what's going down in the CWL?
Well, activity's still awesome. Thank you for that. We are cycling through our next term, so some of our series
That too.
Some of our title series are picking up, getting exciting. Our next pay-per-view will occur in cycle 236, so still plenty of time to get on the pay-per-view. We've got some really awesome matches that have already been announced, some more that are going to be announced this cycle. This is definitely building up to be an amazing pay-per-view card, so I'm very much looking forward to it. In addition to that, we've got our Four Corners event, which, as I may have alluded to last time, didn't get quite the response I was hoping for. That's okay. Sometimes you swing and you miss. But we still have 12 competitors brave enough to enter. Those 12 competitors will compete to win the Four Corners Invitational and get 10 free matches, I think. Yeah, 10 free matches, I think, and the credit, or maybe not 10 free matches. I don't know. We'll just edit that out. Why do I feel like there was matches in there? It's just the credit. I'm sorry. Those 12 wrestlers will compete for the credit as well as a shot at the Revolution title. If you need more information on that, I encourage you to check out the IWAR Network Facebook group. If you're not a member, please join. You're welcome. All are welcome. Just please answer the questions.
Answer the questions!
Answer the questions.
Yeah.
Thank you. So, as far as TT, what did you guys have for the CWL?
Does anyone know why Luther's TT was centered this cycle?
I have a theory, but I don't want to go down that rabbit hole.
Kudoki.
Matt, what did you have for the CWL?
Oh, dear. Well.
Oh, dear.
Well, I enjoy trash talk, as you know. But I also like subtle stuff that sends a message. That's a simple warning. I really enjoyed the Fortune 500 and the Crossfire, or Crosshairs. Because that's a nice way of just...
Crossfire!
It's coming for you, Fortune 500, Aaron McFleece. You're going to fucking die. I also enjoyed Big Bad Bob.
The song is fantastic.
I swear, this guy and El Barbero should be in a feud.
My favorite thing about Big Bad Bob's trash talk is that he beats up two competitors, and it's literally competitor number one and competitor number two. Big Bad Bob is maybe my favorite IWA player.
I enjoy that he puts his record and ranking on the bottom of his picture.
I enjoyed that also.
Mr. G, what do you have?
I was looking at, there's a new evil coming to the CWL very soon. We don't know when he's going to arrive, but when he hits, or who he hits when he debuts. So who, what, when, where, and why, how is the most common questions will be asked. It's probably the best to be on the lookout. The man behind the mask is lurking. The mystery is always a wonder, apparently. So
there it is.
Dun, dun, dun.
I like a good mystery.
So, just to highlight a couple things, the feud between the Agents of Redemption and the Educated continues to heat up. The feud between Dan Maggot and his Lowest of the Low against the Carnage Squad has me excited. I hope to see that explode. And I would say two of my other favorite... There's a lot of good trash talk. There's always a lot of good trash talk. I have like a full page of stuff I could talk about. but I won't. I'll spare you. But two of the other ones I wanted to make sure I highlighted were the aforementioned Dynaflex talking about continuing their Dynasty. Oh man, that made me laugh. The Dynasty and their membership application, including a space for family and friends who may be concerned about their disappearance. Like, who should we notify about your progress? And then also, excellent stuff, as usual, from Mike Mason and the Syndicate. They had a new talk show. He talked about the Four Corners. He talked about Revolution title. He rebutted Big John Stone. I'm really looking forward to seeing Mike Mason versus Big John Stone. And then he kind of drops this hammer that the Syndicate is not a part of Revolution Extreme. And he kind of lights a fire under Johnny Morello. So I'll be interested to see how that kind of subplot story develops. So that's what I had.
We don't let in Italians.
I won't mention where Lauren O'Dur is from. I don't know where he's from, actually. I've never.
I thought he was from Jersey.
Yeah, let's go with that. Jersey sounds good.
Jersey.
Delicious.
All right. Next up is the IWL Independent Wrestling League number 103. League champion Donathan Annihilation. Television champion, the highlight of the night, Johnny Vegas. New York City champion, the American Patriots. Los Angeles champion, Big Donald Crusherfield. Boston champion, Bubba Benfenter. Detroit champion, Graham Underwood. Cleveland champion, Queen Vixen Red. Dallas champion, Cade the Scorch Weller. Memphis champion, Graphic Violence, TI-31. Miami champion, Big Bad Red Fox. San Francisco champion, the murderous Nigel Bloodstone. Chicago champion, Shocker Jimmy Electric. Tag team champions, the Xavier family. I guess that's what you want. What do you call this team? Xavier and Son?
Sure. Yeah. Let's do that. How about Senior and Son?
Senior and
Senior
Son.
and Son?
Senior and Son.
I think Senior and Son.
Sanford and Son.
No.
Don't we have Red Fox? Red Fox is already in the IWL.
Shit. That ruins that one.
TV Tag Team Champions, Graham Underwood and Kennedy Cage. Six-Man Champions, Frederick Xavier, Graham Underwood, Kennedy Cage, known as the Chaotix. And TV Six-Man Champions, Felix Nine Lives Benaventura, and Liam Larkham, and the Standover Man. So, AlexG, what's going down in the IWL? Well, that's why I mentioned that we put the Math Club on the cover of this month's issue of Post to Post, so I thought that was pretty neat. I also want to give a quick shout-out to my main man, Fahrenheit, for the IWL Blaze 411. He does a fantastic job every cycle, so thank you for helping out. I appreciate it. In addition to that, we have the Best of the Best tournament going on right now. We're in the next cycle will be the finals of that. So nice job to all the people who advanced, not Luther because he lost this cycle. We also have the Young Lions Cup. Again, that's also going to be in its final stages. Each of these tournaments will get 10 free matches, and the best of the best will get a shot at the IWL Heavyweight Championship, and the Young Lions Cup champion will get a shot at the Pan American Championship. So don't forget that Wrestle Riot 6 will be a Cycle 105 main event of that show will be the Chaotix taking on the Regulators. And that's going to be, I guess, a unification match, I would say, right? Is that a unification match? Mr. Anderson, is it a unification match?
I would say so. I would say the Chaotix are going to officially take the old IWL heavyweight tag titles. Yeah.
You're going to pawn them like Pedro Morales?
No.
Okay.
We're going
to throw them in a river?
Maybe.
Stick them together with glue.
Nice. Yes. But make them so they're one massive belt. Like glue them together so the two belts are one ginormous
We cut it in half to make half one belt, half the other belts. Do you remember when the WCW and NWA tag team titles were unified, and Steve Austin had one belt and Brian Pillman had the other belt?
No.
Like Brian Pillman had the NWA World Tag Team title and Steve Austin had the WCW World, just one belt of each.
Wow.
That's 1993 WCW for you guys. Go back and watch it.
Couldn't have been any worse than the Dungeon of Doom, right?
Dungeon of Doom is awesome.
I know. I know how you feel about
Fighting words.
In terms of TT, I don't know why the Magnificent one always have to spell Luther's name wrong. It's very upsetting to me. I'm very offended by that. It's O-R, not E-R.
Luthor, not Luther.
So, Matt, what do you got for TT this cycle? In the IWA?
Well, as I've mentioned before, I'm a big fan of a certain player who runs Magnum TL and the Midnight Rider. And what's really fun is when you can pitch a softball over the plate and someone can come back with a home run. So I challenged him to a cage match. He accepts the Gentleman's Club accepts the American Savages versus those two, and of course they want to have William Worthy in a cage hanging over the ring.
Nice.
It's always
like a shark cage, like what Jim Cornette used to do.
Yes. So there will be a response, but I enjoyed that immensely because it made me laugh out loud when I saw it.
If you want to see that, go back and watch Capital Combat 1990, The Return of RoboCop. It's a good show.
Rest in peace, Jim. Rest in peace. The cage gave way. So that was my input there. Mr. Anderson.
If you would permit me, I want to give a shout out to the Backstabber, who in his headline says that he loses 54 matches in 54 tries. God bless his honesty. The Backstabber gives no cares. But also with the Backstabber, the Chameleon debuts and fools the Backstabber by pretending to be a firefighter, and he beats him up. It's hilarious. I love the Chameleon so much. He cracks me up. So
did the Backstabber throw some fire into some woman's face this cycle too?
Yes, the Backstabber.
Like, what's happening?
Lawlessness in the IWL.
No, that's what happens when Commissioner Race is in rehab.
No doubt. On a more serious note, I am super excited. I hope we get a huge pay-per-view match between the Math Club and the Three Birds. I think that could be a show stealer.
I agree. I'm very excited that the Omega Squadron have showed up in the IWL. And Neo Dragon, another fantastic TT. I think the feud between Neo Dragon and Mr. Montgomery is going to be one for the record books. I guarantee it. So overall, I'm really happy with the participation in the cycle. Our matches, seem to be up. Our card totals are up, which is nice to see. Back up to 94 cards. So I'm real happy about that. Don't forget, what's the prize for the Battle Royal? 10 free matches? That's what we're doing?
Yes.
10 free matches for the Battle Royal.
And 2-for-1 entries.
2-for-1 entries also.
Oh, which I promptly forgot about.
Yeah.
My bad. I could have saved myself a couple dollars.
Thanks, IWA. With your pity prize. Moving on. Next up is the NWL. New Wave League number 130. League champion Midnight Choker. TV champion, the Enforcer, Bobby Zamudio. Atlantic champion, Mike Sledgehammer Duggan. Central champion, the Crippler, Bobby Zamudio. So there's a Crippler, Bobby Zamudio, and then there's a Enforcer, Bobby Zamudio?
There sure is.
Is it the same guy?
Yes.
But he has two different nicknames?
Yes.
Are they twins?
Yes.
What is happening? What is this about? I don't understand this.
Yes.
Like, are they clones? Like, this is the Clone Wars?
Maybe.
I think if it was a clone, that would actually be pretty interesting.
That would be a cool gimmick.
I'm upset I didn't think of it now.
Actually, there you go. Dixie champion, the Outlaw, John Nash. Eastern champion, the Giant Bob.
Yes.
Oh, fuck's sake.
Giant.
How come he's not the Giant Robert?
Giant Richard.
He's not a dick. Mountain champion, King Kong Bradley. Northern champion, the Maestro Brian Starr. Pacific champion, Scuba Steve Butler. Prairie champion, Joker. Southern champion, Josh the Beast Gordon. Western champion, the Dream Destroyer, Apollo's Pain. Is Apollos a real name? I feel like Apollos is not a name. I thought it's just Apollo.
I'll be honest, if it's not, I like it. So
you like it? Okay.
I do like
on
it.
Your chest.
I legit Zeus as his avatar, so win-win.
Like Zeus from No Holds Barred Zeus?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh man, that's awesome. Go back and watch the match from 1990. It's Zeus taking on Abdullah the Butcher in Puerto Rico. That match is fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
It really happened. Tag Team Champions, Smoker and the Midnight Toker. TV Tag Team Champions, Cold Deadeye Tracker and Triple Threat. Six-Man Champions, Joker, Smoker, and Midnight Toker. TV Six-Man Champions, Freebird number 1, 3, and 2.
God bless the IWA. 1, 3, and 2.
Like they couldn't put it in 1, 2, 3. They couldn't. They couldn't do it. They couldn't do it. They gotta be dicks. That's what makes me mad. It's like little shit like that drives me absolutely insane. But what are you gonna do? So Matt, what's going down in the NWL?
There is a lot. We have heating up rivalries, beheadings, all kinds of family fun. Bring the kids. It's getting crazier. We have a lot of people, actually. I'm very happy for those of you that have reached out to me via email or Facebook. We've added you into the NWL locker room. If you're not in there yet, please let me know. I'll get you hooked up with that. We've had a good time. If you're not aware, we've set up an actual NWA alumni support group, chat group. So once you graduate, you can go in there and talk with other players who are now in other parts of the game, but it kind of keeps that same network available, if you will. There is a fun fact here. Midnight Toker becomes one of the few to ever Triple Crown in the NWL. So I've always thought it'd be a more common thing because I figure somebody figures it out, they'd really dominate. But there's been a good mix here. The Jake and Jack Jekyll still pouring on the matches, so whoever runs them, if you're listening, contact me. Same for Rebel and Nicole, Sal Chica, Green Phantom. Some people reach out to me, the Freebirds. Once I reply, I never hear back from them again. So, it's good to hear from people.
With your beautiful face. I like Fast Eddie Ketchup. I think that's a cool name.
There are people, of course, some will say, oh, well, as far as the graduation policy, it's still in effect. Once you hit 17, you got to get, moving. But we do not count your initial cycle because some people asked about that and said, oh, well, my first cycle, I'm really competitive, so is it fair to, hold it against me? So I let that one go. But still, within a year's time, you have to be ready to move on. And some players just don't. And if they're mad that I moved them, that's your fault. You had a chance. I put you in a league that's active and has trash talk. So, I try to keep you in at least a fun league. But not the BRL because that wouldn't be nice. Oh, let's see. What else is going on? Showtime Tommy Christopher is setting up a showdown with Racer McKay.
Goddamn maniac is what he is.
He is. And, of course, any chance you can see a severed panda head, how can you not enjoy that? I do enjoy Scuba Steve Butler a lot, particularly because of his T-shirt. Because when it says, damn you, Scuba Steve, it just makes me warm inside.
Can I talk about Monster Truck Tanaka now?
Go ahead.
Monster Truck Tanaka says, hey, NWL, Monster Truck Tanaka here to say that I'm excited to get a title match with Victor Asimov, spelled incorrectly. He's a bully who likes to hurt others, but the fans like me better. I knew a bully in school who was mean to me because I was poor. My teacher, Miss Wormley, helped me. At the title match, my teacher, Miss Wormley, is going to be in the corner of Monster Truck Tanaka, but so will all the other kids from school. You heard, Victor? The fans are behind me. I'm going to beat you to become the new Young Lions champion. That is all from Monster Truck Tanaka, spelled incorrectly.
Well, I think he said his name 4 times in that promo, so he's got that down right.
Gets it over. I'll tell you that much.
And to play off that, I will mention the promo from the trust fund, Carson Wingate, who calls out and insults Monster Truck Tanaka and is trying to basically buy him off. So I always love that $1 million wealthy gimmick, so that's a fun gimmick, so I'm enjoying that.
My question is, does Monster Truck Tanaka own an actual monster truck?
That is a good question. That would be the time for, like, what was it the Big Show that showed up in a monster truck? I know Austin did once.
Well, Big Show had one because he had the Dungeon of Doom giant one from Halloween Havoc 1995. Hulk Hogan had one. Had giant arms on the side of it. It was ridiculous. They need more monster trucks in professional wrestling, by the way. So shout out to I guess this is Seth Adam Lee, who mentioned briefly about the 1986 Tom McGee versus Bret Hart tape that was deemed lost for many, many years and now has surfaced Most of us still have not seen that. I'm trying to work my magic to get my hands on it though. So that's a legendary match. Mr. Anderson, what do you got?
Well, I have. This is the only trash talk that, as I was making up my prep, I wrote in all caps. Victor is having this conference. Victor Asimov is having this confrontation. The Possessed is having this confrontation with his brother Ivan. Ivan's being very not nice to him, and Victor is unfortunately hearing this voice that's telling him to hurt his brother, and his brother is not being very helpful. His brother seems very angry, and holy smokes, Victor rips his head off, and there is a picture of a severed head being held by Victor. So
Mortal Kombat style.
So, thankfully, if there is a thankfully, both the local police department and the district attorney determined that Victor acted in self-defense.
Sure.
So, although he ripped his brother's head off, it was a shocking moment for me.
You know, not for nothing. I asked the death dealers to do that to Scotty Flash, and it still has not brought me.
No, they beat him up, but they didn't rip his head off.
I know. I want it on a stick. So just peel off his face so I can wear a Scotty Flash mask.
Oh, that's twisted.
I know. It's weird.
Oh dear.
All right.
That got dark.
That took the turn.
Too far.
As we all know, number one, you can never go too far. We all know this. It's true. Nope. All right. So, Mr. Anderson, what do you have for us IWAR wide?
Well, first, let's start at the exciting news. Matt, would you like to reveal the winner of the IWAR draft?
Oh, sure. So, as you all know, last year in the fall, we had our annual IWAR draft, the third to happen. And this year's winner of the IWAR draft, Gran Sabrosa.
I knew it.
I did well. Logan Kane gave a good chase, but did not quite catch up in time.
Congratulations to Gran Sabrosa. He will receive not only 10 free matches, but a shot at the Revolution title. It'll be in the bulletin, the next magazine. When that will happen, it will not be for a couple cycles. And a bit of nostalgia and perhaps trivia, for those of you who would be interested, this is the last IWAR event that Matt was still doing as we transitioned from his time as IWAR commissioner/coordinator to my time in that role. So it's a little bittersweet, maybe. Those of you who don't know, there is a new IWAR commissioner.
Like my penis is bittersweet.
Please message me. Please message me and not Matt with your questions.
Yes, please.
So thanks again to Matt for all of his many years of service. So we do have our Johnny B Cup continuing. We're down to the final 16. We do have only 4 managers left. So the 4 managers that are left will each receive a portion of the credit prize. So whoever wins will receive that beautiful cup that Matt has so graciously agreed to once again provide. We are also down to the final 12 teams in the Murano. Very exciting. So we will be down to our, what would you call it, our league finals after this cycle. So we're nearing an exciting point in that tag tournament as well. You may have noticed our next events, the Summer Series and the All-Rookie Cup, are previewed, kind of alluding to what Matt mentioned earlier about Bound for Glory being a BRL exclusive event. We've talked about maybe reducing the number of IWAR events throughout the year, but trying to make the events we do have feel big and important and special, and then maybe doing some more league exclusive events. So the Summer Series will be the other big singles event that we have this year. It's a $5 buy-in, So the winner will receive 80% of the entry fee. So basically, 4 out of every $5 will go to the winner. You need to have those in. I'm sorry. You need to be entered by June 4th. We will confirm on June 25th, and the series will begin on July 16th. So you can see in the bulletin how wrestlers we will slowly weed down to the eventual winner. Hopefully that'll be a fun event for everybody. In a similar way, but different than last year, the Summer Series is you're sending one wrestler. So you're putting the cream of your crop out there against everybody else's cream of the crop, and we'll see who can lay claim to being the absolute best.
And if you're going to cream all over your crop, do that away from me, please.
That's
Yes.
Oh dear.
Then it might as well be during the Summer Series.
Oh boy.
All right, guys. That it? Is that everything?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So we are officially out of time. So for Matt Riley, for Mr. Anderson,